Should I commence the session?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay.
Sharma, sir, please.
Thank you. Very good evening to all my students and co-panelists and Tandon Saab and professionals from Bullseye. It's a great day in the life of my students. Actually, this whole month of December, and has been and can play a highly transformational role in your life. You are exploring possibilities as to which institution can give you assured success. Actually, if you ask me, you are looking for assured and sustainable success. Now, I am going to speak to you on ICFI Business School. As you might be knowing, ICFI has been in existence for more than 25 years. I will request Tandon Saab to kindly make a beginning with the little bit of ICFI Business School. Since 1995, we have been in existence, and we are ranked amongst one of the finest business schools in the country. My dear students, in the last 25 years, ICFI Business School has produced 55,000 postgraduates in the area of management. They are working in different organizations, in corporate houses, industrial conglomerates in India and abroad, sometimes in the government also, at the policy making levels, policy analysis levels, and so on and so forth. So we have high credibility in the eyes of the corporates. They have tried us and tried our students repeatedly and found them very precious resource. The result is that year after year, a large number of recruiters visit IBS for looking for talented minds, trained people, and committed band of professionals. So it is this which encourages us to take this leading business school of the country forward. We have 9 locations. I think gradually, Tandon Saab, we can move on to the next slide, please, so that the students know these are the locations: Hyderabad, Jaipur, Dehradun, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Gurgaon, Pune, and Mumbai. Now, all these put together, you can imagine what a strong position we have in the market. We are known for intellectual capital. I don't want to read out from these slides. Basically, what we are saying is that we have very strong connectivity with the industry. We have understood the mind of the industry. We know their needs, and we have tailored all our delivery, academic delivery, and the holistic program for the personality development of our students to meet the requirements of the industry. Next, please. Now, here comes the real slide. I am saying that we are a serious institution. I will also like to add, we are a serious institution and we are a sincere institution. What is the meaning of this word serious? Serious means whatever we do, we believe in it. We have a commitment to produce those conditions in which the aspirations of the students can be fully met. And when I say we are sincere institution, it means we try to fulfill our promises. Whatever promise we have made to the students, we will live by that, and we will ensure that the students do not find any gap between what we are promising and what the student will be realizing at the end of the 2-year period that he spends with us. Next, please. Tandon Saab, now this we have already seen. We have alumni base of almost now 55,000, high order of acceptance by industry and corporate. Actually, I want to tell the students that the faculty that we have at IBS campuses, across campuses, is highly qualified, and most of them have very rich industry experience, with the result that we go beyond textbooks. We go beyond syllabus. We go beyond classes. We go beyond bookish knowledge. And all our knowledge is based on hands-on experience of the faculty. And this faculty effort is further supported by a large number of industry professionals who come as visiting faculty, who come in the form of eminent speakers, who come for mentoring, who come for counseling, who come for training the students on a continuing basis. We have a large band of guest lectures every week, week after week, for 52 weeks of the year. You can imagine. It is not something that you get 4 or 5 guest lectures in the beginning of the semester and another 4 or 5 at the end of the semester. It is a continuing affair. And the quality of these people who come to the campus is of very high order. The result is that placement becomes a very easy job for us. Now I will explain, and Dr. Raina will also further develop it about the placement, etc. A few words about summer internship. This summer internship is a stepping stone. It is not for 8 weeks. Most of the institutions have it for 8 to 10 weeks. We have it for straight 4 months. And during these 4 months, we have the faculty guide. We have a exact attachment with a company where the students know how to participate in the decision making. He knows how the decisions are arrived at. He knows how the committees work. He knows the value of punctuality and regularity. He knows what is the meaning of the team building. He knows how to handle toxic members of the team. So many things are there. All this practical experience these students learn during this 4-month period. After that, his value system changes, his confidence level changes. He is now ready to be absorbed by the industry. Next, please. Now, please see, these are the unique points of IBS academic delivery. The syllabus is not decided by any commission or committee, etc. It is our internal affair. And that is why we are independent of everybody else. We do not have regulators. We are a self-regulated institution. So it helps us in restructuring the syllabus on a continuing basis. For example, when this COVID-19 has hit us, we have looked at the syllabus. We have looked at how we can go in for greater digitization, how we can go in for online for everything, for financial analytics, for marketing analytics, for big data analytics, in every sphere of economic activity, financial activity. We are looking at this syllabus as to how we can restructure it further to bring in line with what the market needs. We are continuously introducing new subjects. That is what I was telling. And yesterday evening itself, I sent a mail to all my friends, my faculty colleagues, that look for new subjects which can better meet the needs of the post-COVID situation. We place huge emphasis on soft skills. Soft skills and personality development is the only subject which is dealt with in all the 4 semesters. So friends, we never find any fault with the student. If the student is poor in English, we will try to improve his English. If he lacks in communication skills, we will fill up those gaps, you know. If the student is not good at numbers and statistics and numericals, we will try to strengthen those areas. So we try to identify the limitations of the student from day one, and we start working on it. We try to enhance his talents, and we try to meet the deficiencies that the students have in terms of the talent gap between what he has and what the industry needs. This entire learning process is called experiential learning. Nowadays, this word has become very popular, but it has been with IBS for the last more than 20 years. Experiential learning means it is not important what you are learning. More important than what you are learning is how you are learning and what kind of experience you have in this learning process. So most of our methods of teaching the pedagogy is all participative. It is based on active projects, live projects, learning by doing, case study teaching, and peer-to-peer learning, self-learning, group learning, learning in the corridor, learning after the classes are over, through hangouts with the teachers. So many things are there which help the student to bring out where he lacks and how those deficiencies can be made up through interaction amongst the colleagues, peer group, faculty, and external resources as well. For the students who are somehow not as good as one would like to see them in the area of communication, we have language labs. And these language labs are equipped with trained trainers. They are not faculty members. They are trainers, they are experts in the area of identifying the limitations of the students and working on them on a continuing basis from day one till the time the student is placed. Please note my words, what I am saying. From the day one, when the student joins the program, to the time the student exits the college, with a placement, the language lab continues to work. The trainers continue to work. The people in the area of soft skills and business communication continue to work. Now, these are some of the processes that you have to go through in order to get selected. Admission test, you know that already. It is on 26th and 20. Tanan Sahab, it is on 26th and 27th or 20?
26th and 27th.
Yes,
December.
26th and 27th. It is online. It is a 2-hour based, computer-based program, and instructions have already been given to you. Admission tickets are already with you and they are available. The last date I found today in the newspaper, Times of India, it says 5 days more are left for filing the application. You can use this time for filing new application, those of you who have not enrolled yourself for this test. These are the important dates. IPSET application commenced on 1st July. Test is on 26, 27. Result will be out in the first week of January 2021. Next, please. Yes. So the qualifying conditions, you are already aware. Graduation in any discipline with minimum of 50% marks, etc. Locations I have already discussed. This is the fee structure. So this is the fee structure. Rupees per lakh per annum, 7,02,000 in Hyderabad and 1.3 for, that is a PhD program, of course. That's, we are not discussing that. Dehradun and Jaipur is 2.8 lakhs, and Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Gurgaon, Calcutta, Bombay, and Pune is around, the whole thing is around 4 lakhs. That means for 2 years it will be around 8 lakhs, you know. Next, please. Now, this is what our alumni are telling. So you can have this slide. I think this can be mailed to all the students, in fact, and they will gain a great deal. Next, please. So now I think we are coming very close to Dr. Raina's component of presentation. Madam, now I think you take over and directly go to the placement prospects of the students, because they are most keen to know how and when and at what level will I be placed. Dr. Raina, please.
Thank you so much for giving me opportunity. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jatin. Thank you so much once again for giving me opportunity to speak at this, platform. So as there are a lot of things which is already told by Professor Sharma. So we have a career management center. Career management center not only focuses on the placement, but we have a complete, circle. We have a complete process where it starts from the personality development. That is, we understand that industry not only is looking for the academic knowledge, but they are looking, for a personality as a whole. So there is a lot of emphasis on personality development, and at the same time, we are very well connected with the industry. A lot of things have already been told by Professor Sharma. We work very closely with the industry. We try to find out that what are the industry requirements, and we immediately try to inbuild that in our curriculum. At the same time, summer internship program, which is almost for around 3.5 months to 4 months. And most of the companies which are coming for final placement do come for a summer internship program and end up by giving almost a similar kind of a job which they give at the time of final placement. So we have around 40% companies which are almost which are the same companies which comes even at the time of the final placement also. Now, if we look into the average salary trends of last 3 years, you can see from Hyderabad to Jaipur, our average salaries has been increasing from year on. So if you look at Hyderabad in 18, we had 7.2, and now in 2020 it has gone to 7.9. Even you are aware that 2020 was very bad in terms of pandemic around. There was a lot of uncertainty in the market, but at the same time, our averages on an average has increased. In fact, in all the campuses, even campuses like Dehradun, it has moved from 4.7 to 5.7. Gurgaon from 6.01 to 6.51, and our top 10% students do get these as an average salary. Now when we talk about top 10% students, so if I give an average that we have around 600 students at IBS Gurgaon, so almost 60 students are getting an average of around 12.6 lakhs, and similarly close to 150 students are getting the salary ranges from 9 lakhs, 7 lakhs to 11.5 lakhs. Now, Jatin, if you can move to the next one. So if we look into the salary trends in terms of the higher salaries in 18, 19, 20, even the highest salaries has gone for an increase. Like, we've seen Ahmedabad and other campuses where we had 10.3, and in 2020 we had highest salary as 20.40 lakhs. And if you look at the international placements also, we had 50.23 as the highest package for international companies, which was being given by Tolara. So they did the process at Hyderabad, and they did it at other respective campuses also. Even year on year, not only the domestic placements, but we do international placements also. We do have every year, a good number going for international placements, and we do have regular recruiters who do come to our campuses year on year and are hiring students for international placements. Majorly, we have been doing it for UAE, and I would say, some part of Africa, then Dubai and other places and all that. These have been the areas where we have been completely focusing. Next one, Jatin. Now, one of the best USP in terms of placements we have is that we have a very strong presence in large number of sectors. Now, I would say that is a USP for us. Now, what happens many times, these days when you hear that there are a lot of sectors who are not doing well, like, especially some of the sectors, if you see, but it is easy for us to focus towards some, other sectors because we have a strong presence in all the sectors. So starting from banking, consulting, e-commerce, education, financial services, even insurance, IT enabled services. See, many of you know that in 2020, there were very less job postings from IT enabled services. But what we did was we looked into the sectors which are doing, very well in terms of economy. And then we immediately shifted towards those particular sectors. And every year, the picture in terms of the sectors do change. Sometimes we have more number coming from banking side. Sometimes we have more coming from consulting side, or we have more coming from FMCG, media research and all that. And what we do is when we start the placements, there is a proper, strategy which takes place where all the minds do come together. They think about it. There's a lot of research which goes for it. And that is how we decide that which are the areas we need to focus on. So we have even companies coming from media side also, even pharma. This time, that pharma is doing so well. So we have lots of companies. You have heard about Zydus. Zydus is a regular recruiter. In fact, they're making now the vaccine also. So it becomes very easy for us to shift to some of the promising sectors. Now, Jatin, can we move to next one? Yeah, so, I talked about batch 2020. Let me talk slightly more about 20 batch. All of us have seen that, it was the time, March, when we all had been locked out. And, we were just, in our 2-bedroom apartments and all that. And we didn't know where economy is going to land to. But at that point in time, already our 70% students had already joined. So we were at a very, very comfortable position. The only, hiccup was that where they were asked to join, physically, but later on they moved and they asked them to work from home. So when we looked at that point in time, 70% students already joined across campuses, gave us a huge success, and remaining 25% joined in the next 3 to 4 months. And those 25% students, also was being given work from home. So we did very well in 2020, where you heard a lot about economy, you heard a lot of uncertainty in the market, but we could achieve the similar percentage of placements in 2020 also, which was around 93, 94%. Now, if we look into 2021, you know that there is, some effect. Pandemic is still going on. We don't know how things are going to go. There, we are still waiting for budget, which direction it is going to go. But even for the batch 2021, you can look into numbers which we have already done. Like Gurgaon, we have already placed 40% of the batch, and there are a different set of companies which have come this time. So we wanted not only to focus on the regular recruiters, but we wanted to focus on the new set of companies, which could be targeted for the first time, because the nature of jobs have changed. The sectors, there are some booming sectors and there are some sectors who are falling. So we focused immediately on those particular sectors, and you can look into the percentages which we have already done. And we are sure we already have companies lined up for whole of the December until first week of January. We are sure that we will be able to achieve 90-95% placements by next year, February and March. Now, some of the sectors, some of the companies which have come across 9 campuses, I would say, across 9 campuses, there are more than 600, 700 companies which do come, which participate in the campus placement process. And at the same time, we have some of the companies, like we have banking companies, we do have HDFC, then we have ICICI, and all, even new banks, even the payments banks have started coming to us. Then we have international property consulting, like we have CBRE, we have Cushman, and many other companies, which have come to the campus this year also, and they have hired large number of students. Even Big Fours, if I talk about Deloitte, they have hired more than 100, 150 students across 9 locations. Now, we have some of the, as I told, that we do have international, we do a year-on-year international recruitment also. And we do have some companies which do come to us. They have now become, with time, they have become the regular recruiters. Now, if you look into Tolaram, Khimji, these are the companies, they even RACS, Bezunaid, Sadhguru, Reddington. These are the companies, which do come to us year on year, and, they have become the regular recruiters. Initially, they started with few campuses, but today they know the kind of quality we maintain across 9 campuses. So they have now started coming to most of our campuses. And we do it totally on the basis of the student interest. We float the JDs to the students wherever the students do show interest, and we get their candidature and we send it to these international companies. We had this year many of the companies coming from Africa, but there were many students, who did not show interest for certain companies or certain this thing. We do not impose anything on them, but every company which comes to us, it is the student who chooses for themselves. If they decide they have to get into this company, this sector, this profile, they are being given complete independence. Now, this is again the same slide what I earlier talked about, that having a strong presence in most of the sectors is a USP for us, and that has given us lots of advantages. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of things which already has been talked by Professor Sharma. What we do is we do not leave any student in isolation. We touch each and every student individually. We try to find out what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses. We have appointed trainers. We do have soft skills faculty who is, grooming, and who is, I would say, touching each and every student at the campus to find out what are their weaknesses, and we try to convert their weakness into strength. These are some of the activities which we do, and that's how the play. I'm sure many of you would have this question that, how come 600, 700 companies are coming for campus placement? My dear, it is all because of these particular activities. Today, when the company is coming to the campus, they're not coming for us, they're not coming for directors, they're not coming for deputy directors, but they're coming for the student quality we maintain. So year on year, these companies, they wanted to come on the first day, but today they know that even if they will come in the first month and all that, they know that they're going to get the quality student. because we touch each and every life individually. Now we do many things, which I already talked about. But one of the concept definitely which I like to talk about is we have a concept called PACT. So it's Placement Advisory Counseling Teams, which the PACT is known for. And what we do in PACT is that 4 faculty at the same time do enter the class at the same time, and they give 4 different perspectives of the economy to the students. We do a lot of activities in these PACT classes. We teach advanced Excel, we prepare students on aptitude, we conduct English language proficiency test. Even the activities, we understand that students are not used to read Economic Times. So what we do is we make them read Economic Times in the class, discuss that, in those particular classes. That helps them to understand about the economy, because today in interviews, you will not find only questions related to academics, but you will find a lot of questions, being asked from the economy, because everyday situation is changing. And at the same time, summer internship, which we already talked about, not only the students do learn from the summer internship, we give so much of weightage to summer internship that even the faculty do learn a lot. Okay. That helps us to maintain the balance between the academics and the practice, where we understand that there's a lot of gap in that. This SIP is one of the medium where we are trying to balance the theory and practice. Then we conduct mock interviews. We, as I already told, that we teach students advanced Excel. We train them on Excel, because Excel today has become the, advanced Excel, I must say, has today become the basic language of corporate. We give a lot of weightage on that. We teach students the aptitude test. Even when we open for the campus placement, there is a lot of, mock interviews, mock GDs, round 1, round 2, round 3, where internal faculty do not do it, but we call the senior middle management from the industry, who come, who take the mock interviews of the students, give them the feedback, and finally help them to take some corrective actions and help them to overcome those weaknesses. And there is a close mentoring being done, not only by the faculty, not only by the placement staff, but the close monitoring is being done by the top management of the institutes, like campus head, like Professor Sharma. He's closely, he's supervising the monitoring activities. He's himself involved in monitoring. Myself, academic coordinator, institutional building dean, and all that. And this is how the scene is across all 9 campuses. Jatin, can we move to next one? Yeah, so this is some of the information I would like you to, take. I will like you to click a picture of this particular slide, because this slide is very important for you. It talks about, wherever we have a presence in the social media, how you can apply, and what is the address if you want to reach to us, which is the place, how should you call us, which number you should call us. Kindly take the picture of this particular slide. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity, and we are really looking forward for questions, and there are any, we would love to answer that.
So I would like to intervene. First of all, thank you so much for sharing this information. Some personal experience: when I was preparing, we did not have this platform, where we can get direct information from the, from the people who are inside. So that is something which our students are, benefiting from. So while ma'am and sir were, talking about the program, we were getting a bunch of, very interesting questions. So ma'am, most of the students that, because of the pandemic and whatever the situation has folded, you have almost covered most of it, but most of the students, they are, focusing on the placement scenario. And in general, what I have learned is that MBA is more about your overall personality development. So how do you see that ROI factor, students are always concerned about?
May I, Dr. Zaina Madam, let me respond very quickly, then I will request you to support.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Now the question is that the ROI is not as per expectations, but my dear students, please appreciate what is return on investment. Return on investment is not merely the payback period. If you go by the payback period in case of many of the campuses is 1 year. In some cases, it is less than 1 year. In case of, say, Hyderabad, it could be 1.5 years. So return on investment directly depends upon the kind of placement you can earn for yourself. If you go by the top 10%, the return on investment is different. So it all depends upon the relativity of the student. If you do well, the return on investment is higher. If you are laggard, obviously the return on investment will be there on an accrued basis, which means it will not happen to you in the very first year. It will accrue to you over a longer period of time. And as I said, return on investment is to be judged not merely for 1 year. Once you have become a ICFI Business School graduate, you continue to earn for next 40 years, 4 decades. So return on investment has to be measured in terms of the total revenues which will accrue to you over a very long period of time. And therefore, I say that return of investment is quite favorable. Dr. Anna, now you may like to add, please.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to divide this question into 2 parts. One, I would like to ask you, what is that you want? Okay, because it is totally based on the kind of competence and the skills you possess in these 2 years. Now, if you, especially because I'm taking care of the Gurgaon placements, for example, in Gurgaon, there are more than 200 companies which come and which participate at the campus placement, right? Now, all the JDs are open for all the students. You can apply in any of the JD. Okay, but if you do have skills, if you do have competence, you can earn a salary of 15 lakhs. And even if you are an, I would say, average, you can easily get a salary of around 6.5 lakhs and all. But if you have not judiciously spent those 2 years, okay, judiciously, if you have not spent those 2 years in the campus, maybe, you will not be able to get what you're expected for. So I would divide this question into 2 parts. One, prepare yourself hard so that whatever the kind of return on investment you want, you can do that and you can get that from the campus. The second part of that is return on investment is never calculated for 1 year. As rightly told by Sharma sir, if you get a salary of 6 lakhs and you will be working for coming 40 years, so 6 into 40, you should say how much you will be earning for whole of your life. So prepare hard. It depends on you what you want, and at the same time calculate it for the number of years you'll be working. And today, I would say the working years have gone even up to 50 years, right? Thank you so much.
That is beautiful what sir has just talked about, that we are not just machines who are making numbers in terms of salaries. You get a completely different perspective post MBA. So I think that answers very well this question. So let me take you to the next question that is being asked. So ma'am, the question is, what are the new changes in the placement procedure after the COVID-19 pandemic that the students, I'll just finish the whole question, that the student should take into consideration? Are there some drastic changes in the placement procedure?
See, one is from my side, there is no change, but yes, there is a change from the industry side, because today what has become most important is that, how do you make yourself skilled? Okay, what are the skills you possess? What is that something you are different from others? Okay, now all of you know that many of the sectors are not doing well, but that does not mean that some sectors are not doing well. There are some sectors which are booming. Like, for example, there is pharma sector, there is FMCG sector. Even when there was pandemic and all, you have seen how India has behaved. We all have been making all delicacies, sumptuous food at home. We've been trying so many things and all. So FMCG has been booming. Then healthcare has been booming. And there are new jobs which are now coming up. There's a lot of focus on research. There's a lot of focus on analytics. Today, companies want you to know some of the new softwares which have come. Like, for example, we are teaching students Python. We are teaching them advanced Excel. We are even giving them training on some basics of financial modeling, because we understand that these are the new jobs and new skills which are now coming up post-pandemic. And we immediately thought of, building that in our curriculum. And we immediately thought of training students on those particular areas. And once students are being trained, so, your focus would shift from some of the companies to a new set of companies, some of the sectors to a new set of sectors, right? That's what I said. When you have a strong presence in large number of sectors, that gives you advantage many a times, because economy keeps on changing. There are some sectors you will see they're just doing extraordinary, but suddenly next year you will see, they just had a fall. So strong presence in 16, 17 sectors has given us lots of advantage.
That sums up very nicely this question also. So, ma'am, a lot of my students are already very well aware of the brand, but because there are so many campuses, so they would really like to know that are all comparable, or what is the priority ranking in terms of all the campus that we have.
See, we don't have any ranks of our own, but it is the students who rank us. So, sometimes they will see that Hyderabad is at number one, sometimes they will put Mumbai at number one and any other campus at number one. But if you ask me from a placement point of view, you can even go to www.ibsindia.org. If you look at the type of companies, there are 50 to 60% companies which are same and which goes to all 9 campuses. Like, for example, we have Deloitte coming to all across 9 campuses. We do have all the banks coming to all across 9 campuses. We do have, many other companies which do go to all. So there would be slight differentiation on the basis of the requirement of a company at a particular market. Now, for example, if there is a company, they're looking for students to join in Gurgaon. So in that case, they will be giving slightly more weightage to Gurgaon campus as compared to Mumbai and Hyderabad campus. Similar way, if there is a company which is based at Hyderabad and they're looking for local candidates, so that time maybe slightly the numbers from Hyderabad is going to be more as compared to Mumbai and Pune, right? So one is the central, the requirements. Second is the, I would say regional requirements. So regional requirements are always based on the kind of requirements you have and which particular market you have, right?
Right, ma'am.
Yeah, so we don't rank, I'll come back to the same question again. We don't rank ourselves, it is the students who rank us, right? Otherwise, we internally do not have any rank because everything is same. I will not even use the word similar, I would say same. Curriculum is same, pedagogy is same, even co-curricular, extracurricular, everything is same. Even we do have faculty transfers. There would be some faculty who is based at Hyderabad, now they want to shift to Gurgaon, so they can get transferred to Gurgaon. So all the sources are same across all campuses.
Yeah. Next.
Right, ma'am. So, sir, we have a very funny question. So, as you see the number of, as you see in the batches that are coming, we are emphasizing on the role of women managers in the batch, right? Because we all know how it affects the overall learning. So, Gautam here would love to know that are we taking care of the, of the girl and boy ratio in our selection?
Okay. Madam, let me attempt the question, then you supplement it. You see,
Okay.
my dear students, there is no discrimination at all on the basis of the gender. And if you take the macro view of the things, almost 50% of our students come from the male category and the rest 50% are in the female category. So nobody has designed it, but the way the things have developed, the way the market is responding, the way the aspirations of the male and female are keeping pace with the changing times, we find that the gender composition in any case has almost become equal. So female are in the front actually. If you ask me as a teacher, I will say most of the female students are occupying the front seat. In the clubs and in the cells that we have, I'm talking of the extracurricular activities, they are number one. They are leading everywhere. And even in terms of the CGPA, etc., and placement performance, the girls are in no way inferior to the boys. Actually, they are doing better than the boys. And we feel very happy about it. That shows us that the future of the country is bright. So, Dr. Anna, you may like to now supplement.
Yes, sir. Sir, I would like to say, Mr. Gautam, I would like to say that diversity, today everybody is talking about diversity. There is a huge learning in diversity. So you should always welcome diversity. either on the basis of gender, either on the basis of the academic qualification you have, because there's a huge learning, in terms of diverse work group. I would say from placement point of view also, yes, there are certain JDs which we do get exclusively for girls, because they're trying to come to some number in terms of gender diversity. So they will do some special drives. They would say that, we had less than 10% staff who are females, and now we would like to increase the number. So we would like to do this process exclusively for, girls. Yes, those things do happen, but you should always welcome that, that's how it gives you a huge learning.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, so I have one more question. In fact, there are a lot of questions that are pouring in, so I'll quickly take them. So there's this very specific question that what to expect for PhD presentation from research committee point of view.
Well, this program is basically focused at MBA program or PGPM program. And for PhD, although I can respond to it, but I think you have to separately ask that question directly to ICFA University, Hyderabad.
Right, sir. In fact, sir, all these doubts we keep collecting and we keep communicating so that no one, goes home empty-handed.
Yes.
So, sir, there's another question regarding clubs and committees. Most of the MBA aspirants, they're very excited and they're looking forward to, all these clubs and the opportunities that they provide. So, we have some students who are asking about the prerequisite skills that are expected to be a part of that committee, and how how do we maintain clubs and committees in our company?
Very nice question, madam. Let me respond to it briefly. My dear students, these clubs and committees and cells, they constitute a very significant area of IBS journey. So students learn much more outside the classes than inside the classes. Now, what kind of qualities you should have so that you emerge as a leader in these clubs and cells? I think basically you have to project to your friends, to your peer group, that you are having certain inbuilt qualities in you to lead others. So it is very easy said than done. There is a competition, and in which every student is given an opportunity who wants to get elected to these committees or clubs or cells. And there you have to do public speaking. Public speaking, strong communication is the first condition which will bring you to the forefront from the back benches. You cannot be a leader unless you are a strong communicator. And secondly, the student should feel that you are a credible character, which means that you are authentic, you are reliable. And thirdly, that you do not project only yourself. You have to be a good team person. So team person means don't look for taking credit. Give credit to others. Moment you start giving credit to others, you will automatically become a leader. But the day you start usurping credit, even for the work done by others, your leadership will be demolished, So these are some of the things. Then these committees and cells, you learn how to prepare budget, how to deal with vendors, how to deal with money, how to build team, how to deal with people who do not agree with you, how to deal with people who even humiliate you even when you are in a leadership role or leadership position. It is all a very, very complicated area of man management, money management, event management, and understanding the dynamics of the group. And then if you can handle all this, you become a leader, and every opportunity of challenge turns you into a better human being. And then when the recruiters come, you are able to roll it out. They will ask you about your experience. And then because you have done something, you will say that, sir, I have done this, this, this. This helps you in getting placed at a higher salary and at the fastest pace. I can tell you, my dear students, we have done some quick research and we found that the students who were good in curricular को आप एकदम छोड़ भी दीजिए, particularly in co-curricular and extracurricular activities in these clubs and cells, they did better in placement. They were picked up first, and they were picked up at the highest salary because they have developed the art of leadership, of multitasking, of performing in a versatile environment, of dropping their hesitations, of accepting challenges and giving credit to others. These are the qualities, these are the traits which are required if you want to come to the front of managing these clubs and cells. Thank you.
Sir, I'll remember this line. Don't take credit, but give credit. That is something which is very useful in life in general. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yahi
So,
hai.
sir, so, sir, there's another question from Saurabh who is asking that it has been difficult for every institute to cope with what we have seen since March, the pandemic and the shifting from offline classroom to the online mode. So, sir, would you like to shortly talk about that? What are the challenges that you faced when you were shifting to the online mode, and is it the new future of MBA?
Okay. Uh, well, friends, this is a very challenging question. In the beginning, I will not claim that we were great experts, although ICFI Business School has been having this concept of online teaching, online learning for the last almost 8 to 10 years. But we were not making effective use of it. At the same time, we had some conceptual understanding and framework ready, but that framework came very handy. When this pandemic hit us, first thing that we did was that the entire faculty across IBS campuses was centrally trained. Please see, I am using the word centrally trained from Hyderabad. And then we looked at preparing some kind of a course material which was fed into a platform called QuickForce. So the idea, what Dr. Rana said is very right. We prepared a standardized material, a standardized process, a standardized delivery mechanism, which made it very easy for us to handle this online, transition from the campus teaching. Although I must tell you, and I accept that online teaching can be a supplementary situation, it can be an emergency situation, but there is no substitute for campus life. And I'm very sure that in the coming weeks and months, all IBS campuses will become fully operational in the sense that classes will be held on the campus. Although this 2020, we have marched through based on the online. Online means huge preparation for the faculty, huge preparation for the student. And then I can tell you 3-4 more things. That in order to compensate for some of the deficiencies of the online system, we introduced mentoring for the students. We introduced voluntary basis. We could have consultancy hours, which means faculty will say that I will teach marketing, not teach. I will take up doubt or clarificatory session from 5 to 6 p.m. on marketing analytics. Faculty is waiting. Students can pose questions. This is outside the classes. So in order to compensate for certain deficiencies which online system has, we developed new mechanisms to overcome them. So to be brief, online, yes, it could be a part of the story could be done online even after the campus resumes. Supposing I want a professor from Stanford to teach us, he can do it online. I want a professor from Harvard to share his thoughts. We can do it online. But if I am to teach you, I would love to teach you in the campus as far as possible. But if the campus becomes a scarce situation, the way we have, we will teach online. We have today no difficulty at all. Now look at this webinar which is going on right now. Do you think that you are in any way deficient or lacking in terms of depth or passion? We are fully equipped. We are fully prepared with data, with scientific evidence and so on and so forth. Same thing which happens in the class. Particularly, I want to tell you, my dear students, we make it a point that the faculty enters the class where the faculty takes a position on a particular subject, on a particular theme. It is not that you just say, this is also there, that is also there. So once you have passion with you, once you have intensity of enthusiasm in you, whether you are online or you are off campus or on campus, it really does not matter. So we are fully comfortable both online. Of course, I am more comfortable on campus. All, Dr. Rana, you may like to add something.
Sir, I think you have dealt with all details.
Yes. Thank you very
In
much,
fact,
sir. We can move on to the next question.
Yes, so before I go to the next question, I understand the time constraint that you guys have, because there are a lot of questions that are pouring in. So what I'll do is I'll take some questions that are very direct, so I can also answer. So I'll take that individually. And if there's something which I would like you to respond, then I'll take all these questions with you after the session. So one question that has been repeatedly being asked, sir, there's a lot of confusion behind MBA program and PGDM program. And Kanika has done some research, and she's saying that 3 out of 9 campuses, they're offering MBA and the rest are offering PGDM. So if you can, clarify that difference.
Definitely. It's a very important question and we will do full justice to this question. To begin with, I will request my colleague, Mr. Jatin Tandon, to kindly come forward and take this question, please. MBA versus PGDM.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, Kanika, you might be aware that there are 3 kind of terminologies which are there in the country. One is PGDM, which you said, one is MBA, and one is PGPM. So, you are rightly equipped with the knowledge. 3 of our campuses are MBA, that is Hyderabad, Jaipur, and Dehradun. And all other campuses are giving a PGPM program, which is a postgraduate program in management. And the difference between these two is in the mind of the students only. Otherwise, industry is weighting both these programs as the same. It is a industry recognized program, the PGPM I am talking about. And it is a program which is given by autonomous institutions. Now, if we are terming MBA, it is given by universities which are UGC recognized. 3 of our places, Hyderabad, Jaipur, and Dehradun, are under the UGC recognition, and that is where we are giving the MBA. PGPM is an autonomous institution, and the other terminology, PGDBA, which is given by institutions which are AICTE approved. So in the current scenario, if you see, a couple of years back, even the IIMs, once the bill was not passed, mostly all the IIMs were also giving a PGP. And the industry was recognizing all the programs, all the PGPs which were given by IIMs. So it is more about the industry recognition rather than going into the terminologies of the current situation, which is MBA, PGPM, or PGDBA. We have got 54,000 alumni working across the globe, and almost 3/4 of them have passed out from our PGPM campuses. If we term a batch size of around 4,500, then touching around 3,300 to 3,400 students are from the PGPM campuses, and remaining around 1,300 to 1,500 students are from the other 3 university campuses. So in a sense, we are very equipped. But yes, if you are interested in going for a higher education abroad, if you are willing to pursue a PhD, if you are willing to go for certain government jobs which where the prerequisite is MBA degree, then we have given the solution to the students that you can enroll for any of the distance learning programs along with the PGP program of ours from any of the recognized universities in the country. And you can use those particular degrees whenever it is required for these 3 situations only. But for us, PGPM is self-sufficient, as you have seen in the placement slide also shown by Dr. Rana. I hope I have made the clarity on this question.
Absolutely, Jatin sir. Sir, we are almost at the at the closing of the session. So before we leave, sir, please talk about IBSAT and let's talk about how this exam, because a lot of students think that it is a difficult exam, or how should they be preparing. So if you can quickly, sir, just talk about the exam and when they can fill the form.
So by your permission, can I take the question?
Yes, yes, please, please, please.
Thank you so much, sir. So IPSAT is examination which is one of the top national management examination now. Across the country, every year it is taken by somewhere around 25 to 30,000 students. This is an examination where students are supposed to write the paper this year on a proctored mode, which is a change versus the previous year pattern. We have taken the security into consideration of the students, the safety and security, and we have made IPSAT 2020 as a proctored AI based online examination taken from home. It has got 4 sections and it has got a 2-hour duration. It is a totally online paper with no negative marking. The comparative difficulty level is certainly if you have prepared from any of the national coaching institutes, or you have done your self preparation a little seriously, you will find IPSAT comparatively easier versus the CAT or a ZAT examination, and it is in line with the SNAP and the NMAT examinations. It is going to test your skills on quantitative ability, your verbal, your logical reasoning, but it is certainly not as difficult as the CAT examination which is there in the country. Now, once the IPSAT examination is over, we are shortlisting students and we are calling them for the selection process. Till last year, it was happening in Hyderabad. This year, it is still scheduled in Hyderabad, but if at all the situation is not in control in the month of February, just like we have changed our IPSAT from offline to a online pattern, from the test center based to a home based AI proctored exam, we are very well equipped to change the pattern of the selection process also. If needed, it is going to take place in an online mode, but as of now, it is as scheduled what it was in the earlier parts. So now around what Professor Sharma also said, we have advertised today in the Times of India. You would have seen that 5 days are left to apply to IPSAT. And in the slides also, you would have seen a colorful slide which was showing a national mock test preparation. That is again having some wonderful awards to be won. If you have really prepared well for the CAT is over now. Try your luck and check whether you can get those awards in the tune of 20,000 max and prepare for IPSAT. I would say all the best to all the people who are preparing for the management exams.
Great, sir. So I've shared the link to, where they can go and check out how to apply and everything. And other than that, since, I understand that you have time constraints, so I would personally like to thank specially sir, Professor Sharma sir. When I read his bio, I was like, even I was little bit conscious what to ask sir, but he has very beautifully and very humbly answered all the doubts that our students have addressed. In the future, when we will be, further marketing and talking about what we have done, what we are doing here, all the doubts and whatever communication that I need, then I will transfer it to you so that, if there's further students who want to ask, who have missed this opportunity, they can, talk to you.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
So, sir, ma'am, and Jatin, sir, any last words, some happy note to end with a happy note to all our students, any positive message which you would like to give?
Starting
Well,
with the Sharma sir.
let me, Tandon sir, let me wish all the students all the best. Yes. You see, my dear students, your destiny is in your own hands. Your destiny is in your own hands. And destiny means it is a junction where the preparation meets the opportunity. Please note, destiny is defined as a point where your preparation for anything, preparation for any group discussion, preparation for any interview, preparation for any challenge of life. If you keep on preparing yourself all the time, when the opportunity comes, you strike right into the bullseye. That is how success is achieved. So I wish you all the best on behalf of ICFI Group and hope to see you soon in somewhere, either online or on campus. Thank you.
All the best to all of you, and do well in any of the entrances as well as in IPSAT. And let's hope to be part of our family.
And I would
Awesome,
just like
ma'am.
to say
Yeah, please, sir, please continue.
that only CAT is over right now. NMAT is continuing. You have got ample of chances left. You have got bigger examinations coming. SNAP is also coming. ZAT is also coming. NMAT is continuing till January. IPSAT is on 26, 27. I would like you to make a kitty of at least 5 to 6 national examination. Apply for it. Get the selection call letters for the GDNPI. Go for GDNPI. Attend them either online or offline mode. Collect the offer letters and decide in the month of March. You have got more than 3 months right now. Keep the COVID fear behind. COVID will be behind us in the next around 50, 60 days. And psychologically, we will be winning the race once any kind of medicine is also out, which is most likely to be out anytime now. And we will be seeing you, as sir said, most likely in the campuses in the next batch, which starts in June 2021. Again, 7 months from now. So please don't rest your decisions to waste a year or drop a year just because of the current fear of the situation. It is not worth it. You'll be earning 1 year less your retirement age if you fix it, and you'll be earning 1 year less in your total career. So if I am expecting what ma'am said, retirement age salary would be somewhere around 40 lakhs per annum. So you will be earning 40 lakhs less. If
And
you're
just
deciding
accordingly, then ROI will get affected if they work less than one.
Yes.
So please put a thumbs up that you should be joining this year. You have prepared well, and you will be matching with your kind of preparation in any of the best B schools of the country. All the best.
That is the kind of positive message that I was talking about. Thank you, sir. I've also, I've in the comments, I've given a number 8288823518. So this number will direct you to our counseling team. And, a lot of people might have joined late and a lot of will miss this wonderful session. So you can contact this number and we are always, ready to solve your doubt, because at the end of the day, it's your own career. So the more you ask, the better benefits you get. And we will be uploading this whole session on the YouTube channel. So you can come back, comment down there.